All right, hello, welcome to School Day at the North Texas Teen Book Festival. I'm Dan Santat, the guest author and moderator of this panel, and I'm excited to welcome you to this draw-off where we all get to challenge each other to draw works from our books. And today I'm delighted to introduce four wonderfully talented colleagues. The first is an author-illustrator hailing from Brooklyn, New York. His first picture book, Kapow, was a New York Times bestseller, and he is the creator of the popular long-running Olympians graphic novel series by Macmillan, with book 12 coming into stores soon, called Olympians, Dionysus, A New God, coming in stores March 8th. Mr. George O'Connor.
Hey, everybody.
My next author here, he is the creator of the very popular New York Times bestselling Big Nate series, which has been in publication for 30 years. And very excited to say he has now been turned into a new animated series, which just premiered on Paramount Plus, I believe, a week ago. Yay, congratulations to you. He is here to talk about his newest book, which is now in stores, called Max and the Midnights. His third book is out, called Max and the Midnights and the Tower of Time. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Lincoln Peirce. Thanks, and you are currently in Portland, Maine, correct?
Correct.
What is the weather like out in Portland, Maine?
I'd say about 38 degrees and overcast.
Okay, well, I am in lovely Southern California, and it is 70 degrees and sunny. So that is just a wide difference in weather here. Oh, I'm delighted to say this next author is a motorbike enthusiast who keeps an amazing travel blog called 250 Superhero, which documents her travel excursions all over the globe. And when she's not on the road, she's illustrating picture books and comics such as the Guinea Pig Pet Shot Private Eye series with the National Book Award finalist Colleen Venable. And they are pairing up again for their newest series called Katie the Cat Sitter, book one called Best Friends for Never. Please give a warm welcome to Stephanie Yu.
Hi.
So you just recently were in Barcelona, correct?
I was. This was pre-pandemic, though.
Oh, got it. So it's been a while. When do you think you're going to be hopping on the road again?
Hopefully soon. I left my bike in Lisbon, so I'm sitting there for 2 years now.
That's the title of your next book. I left my bike in Lisbon. All right. And last but not least, you know, this next author is one of the 7 strangers picked to live in a house, work together, and have their lives taped, Stop Being Polite and Start Getting Real on season 3 of MTV's The Real World. He has gone on to much bigger and greater things, working on great best-selling comics such as Green Lantern, Batman, Pedro and Me, and his New York Times best-selling series Hilo. His newest book is in stores now, called Hilo, Gina and the Big Secret. Please give a big warm welcome to Mr. Judd Winick.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for the introduction.
Of course. And I am Dan Santat. I am a children's book author, illustrator in this business for 18 years. The 2015 Randolph Caldecott Medal winner for the picture book, The Adventures Beagle, The Unimaginary Friend. I am here to present my newest graphic novel, The Aquanaut, which is my second graphic novel. And I look forward to sharing this time with all of you. So we're doing what's known as a draw-off. And the way this works is that we're each going to give a writing prompt for the book that we're here to present. And then while everyone is drawing, the person presenting their book will have about 5 minutes to talk about their book. And then afterwards, everyone will just go around and see what we each drew. And then that author will be able to hand the reins over to the next author of their choice. And we'll just go around in a circle until everybody is through their thing. So how would we like to do this, folks? Who would like to go first? I'd be happy to go first and like show you how it's done. If that's fine.
Would you like to hop in there, Dan? Would you like to get in there
then
first?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Do it.
So my book is called The Aquanaut. So my writing prompt for you would be to draw a sea creature exploring land, if you can do that for me, okay?
Sure.
So that's okay. All right, ready and go. Okay, so the title of this book, The Aquanaut, is a story about 4 sea creatures who survive a ship that is sunk out in sea. And what they end up doing is they find an old diving suit and they convert it into a land walking device. With this land walking device, they come to the surface to explore what they call space, which is the world that is absent of water. And while they're exploring land, they're trying to find this Shangri-La that they have heard of called Aqualand, which is a marine reserve that they hope will be a salvation for them so that they can escape the world's dangers. It was founded by the captain who died in the sinking of the ship, and he has left behind a daughter and a brother who survived the ship crash. This is a 10-year project of mine. I sold this way back in 2010 with Scholastic Books, but a lot of things have kind of just gotten in my way. I've been working on other projects, working with folks like Mo Willems and Dave Pilkey, and then also just writing and illustrating a lot of my picture books and being on the road. So unfortunately, it took me a very long time to get this book done. But what I am proud to say is that the story still holds up. I'm still very proud of it. Here's an example here of a scene of the captain, going down in the ship. And then as we go further on, I'm going to show you some examples from the book, which is just the art. So I assure you that the rest of the book will be in color in its publication on March 1st. They got this old diving suit and they turned it into a land walking device. Is that like a mud skipper? He's just like
Exactly what it is.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm so happy that I threw you off the horse by making you
Oh my
laugh.
gosh.
You were in mid-taunt and like, yeah, I'm done. So it's a mud skipper just getting to land. Yeah.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. And so,
Okay.
as the
So you were
story
talking
goes
about the
on,
diving suit. Diving suit. Go on.
these characters, they come on land and they meet the daughter and the brother, and they try to heal up the old wounds of a captain that died and never got to say goodbye to his family. So there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of heartfelt moments in this story, a lot of suspense and action, and it is a labor of love, and it comes in stores March 1st. Hope you check it out. And that is my spiel. Mr. O'Connor, that is fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Let me move it closer so y'all can see.
Yeah.
This Aquanaut
Nice.
made me think octopus. They have a lot of syllables.
There you go.
also works.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened with mine. It turned real dapper.
outside the bowl.
Yeah, I don't know why my guy's wearing boots, but he's got to get out somehow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just needed a walking cane because what kind of fish walks? And then it became just a dapper fish.
Right. That's well, this is great because drawing on a dry erase board and any of those things that you do at school visits is my glass jaw. So this can be very embarrassing. And I'm looking at all your works and I'm very intimidated by this. So that is my book, The Aquanaut, and I am now
Looking forward to it, Dan.
All right.
Oh, I like the third eye.
I'm going to hand the reins off to Stephanie. You
Okay.
let's hear what you have to say, Stephanie.
Okay, so I'll start with the drawing prompt.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with a skateboard trick, an animal doing a skateboard trick.
Oh yeah.
In my book, it's a lot of cats, so a cat is an option, but any animal, if you don't feel like drawing a cat, then
All right.
another animal doing
Great.
a skateboard trick. And let me see if I can share my screen real quick and talk about Katie the cat sitter, best friends for never. All right. So Katie the cat sitter, best friends for never is the second book in the Katie the cat sitter series. And it's actually, I think, the 8th book that Colleen and I have worked on together. 14 years ago, we put out the first book called Hamster and Cheese in the Guinea Pig Private Eye series, which became a 6-book series, but much shorter, 40 pages, real fun, just super goofy, animals solving crimes. And that seems to be kind of the theme. I have illustrated a number of other picture books and chapter books, Such a Little Mouse, the MouseNet series. You notice I draw a lot of animals, small animals like mice, but not exclusively mice. I've illustrated a picture book about bunnies, and now 2 books, 2 graphic novels featuring 217 cats. So in Best Friends for Never, the second book in the series, Katie is officially a sidekick now. So she's going into sidekick training, and she's, you know, doing nunchucks and swords, or so she thinks. Turns out it's actually a lot more emailing and just kind of like boring paperwork type things. And on top of that, her best friend has come back from summer camp, and things have changed. A lot of things are changing at different rates in Katie's life. Bethany now wants to be called Beth, not super thrilled for Katie. And Beth has also come back with a new boyfriend. Everyone is growing up at different rates, and Katie is maybe not always making the right decisions. In book 2, we also get to see 3 different superhero layers, including this one that is where all of the gadgets are fabricated for Moustress by her gadget cats. You get to meet a whole bunch of new cats with their new abilities, including the cuteness, who just likes shiny things, shiny, dangerous, sparky things, and like rock climbing cats, which is especially fun because I actually enjoy rock climbing. So
Wait, is that you in that picture? Way up there?
yeah, like way up there.
Whoa.
Wow, you're very small in that picture.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
the suction cup shoes come back in Katie book 2. Also in book 2, someone is framing the Moustress. They've gone on a crime spree dressed as the Moustress, but the actual Moustress is having other challenges of her own. She's never been caught before. At the end of book 1, spoiler alert, she does get caught. And in book 2, what I like about this series is that you do have consequences. So the characters don't just, get into a fight and they all get bruised up and then they just go right back at it. So Madeline is struggling to get back in the field in book 2. We also get to meet more of the characters from book 1 that you only see for a little bit, including the Goths, super fun, and the sidekicks, which I had a ball designing because they're all ridiculous. Like there's one that's just an otter. I don't know how to design superheroes, so the sidekicks are real goofy. The Wheelers are also really fun in book 2 because they're Katie's skate crew. There's a lot of skateboarding in book 2. Which is why I'm like, oh, that'll be the drawing prompt. It's always fun. More of the skate crew. I actually went and took a skate lesson and realized that this is really, really hard. So I look kind of cool in this photo, but the rest of it is like, you don't see that. Ooh, that's awesome. Wow, that looks great. Oh my gosh. And the fish is back. Okay, getting distracted. But yeah, when I skate, it's more like Marie in the skate crew, where it's like super enthusiastic, and then the board goes flying, and it's probably with my bike in Lisbon now. I don't know, it flew away. So there's a lot of cats and a lot of skateboard tricks and a lot of the cuteness being kind of strange and terrifying. And that's Katie the Cat Sitter, Best Friends for Never, book 2 in the Katie the Cat Sitter series. Okay, in a nutshell.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, let's see. Oh my gosh, that octopus would
Hey.
rule.
Look at
Doing
my
all the
octopus.
tricks at once.
It's
Everything
Zula.
at once.
Oh, I
Wait,
like
who
this.
drew cats
So-
besides, looks like most of us drew cats. Oh, no. This is actually my actual cat, Birdie, who would be pretty funny.
Oh, it's so cute.
What is that called? Grinding? She's
I
grinding.
love
The grinding.
I love the concentration in the eyes.
Oh, that's
Yes,
Birdie.
I love
She's a
it.
very
Like-
serious cat.
yeah, I like the helmets and the.
Oh, she's also
I think
safety.
that the fish is also. Is the fish underwater skateboarding?
No, I did the mud skipper again because I
Mud
thought it'd be
skipper.
fun.
There's a
gas
theme.
So
There's a theme developing.
The theme
a
of
mud
gas,
skipper,
like,
like-
how did I end up here? How did I end up on land? And how did I end up on a skateboard? It's just carrying on.
I'm going with a motif. I like consistency. I like
I
callback.
like that. It's.
I'm gonna see what I can do
I
next.
do like. I do like that. Like, I bet an octopus could figure out a skateboard. I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah. I mean, I almost gave him like 2 extra limbs so he could hang 10, but then I thought, you know,
Squid.
gotta
Squid.
represent
Squid.
properly. Yeah.
You want to keep it authentic. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it should have been a squid. Darn
Yep.
it.
Right.
All right.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
Okay, let me grab my drawing apparatus again.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
I'll go
Oh.
next.
All right. No, what is your prompt?
All righty.
Okay,
So,
this is the tough
I'm
one.
gonna talk about my Max and the Midnights books, and this one is the most recent, but the prompt
Oh,
I'm
boy.
going to give is from the second one,
Oh, God.
where there is a creature in the book called a clatterback. Now you might have to write this down.
I'm
A clatterback is a hybrid of these 4 animals: alligator, tiger, squirrel, and horse. Okay,
gosh.
start drawing.
God.
Oh,
Meanwhile, I will start talking about Max and the Midnight. So this is a trilogy. It started with this book, the original Max and the Midnights, which was the story of a 10-year-old in the Middle Ages who dreams of becoming a knight. Spoiler alert, we find out about 50 pages into the book that Max is a girl. In the second book, which is called Max and the Midnight's Battle of the Bodkins, Max works to save the kingdom of Bijovia from this invading army of Bodkins, which are these creatures that can look exactly like we all look, which makes them particularly nefarious. And that brings us to the third book, which I just finished. It goes on sale on March 1st, Max and the Midnights, The Tower of Time. And it picks up right where the second book ended, where Max has discovered that the person who looks exactly like her, who she assumed was her bodkin, is in fact her twin sister, separated at birth, twin sisters. And so Max goes off on a quest with her friends, the Midnights, to figure out the backstory of who she and her sister are, who their parents were, because they were both orphaned, and what it all means to Max's future. And so if you're not familiar with these books, I call them hybrid books, just like this animal that you guys are drawing are hybrid animals. These books are hybrid books, meaning I combine text and comics together and sort of go back and forth. So there's comics on every page, there's text on just about every page. And I really like that sort of challenge of going back and forth between the two. So here's actually how I start these books.
Oh,
So I don't know how you guys work, but I always start working in my little notebooks here. So so I'll open this up. So this is how Max and the Midnight starts, with these. I start writing down ideas, sometimes little sketches, little doodles, little bits of dialogue, and that's how I start working out my stories. So not anybody but me probably could read this stuff, but it makes sense to me.
Wow.
And so I got a bunch of these little books, and then I mentioned earlier before we all started talking that I am very old school. I'm low tech, so I don't know how you guys work, but I don't work on a tablet or anything like that. I still just work pen on paper. So a book like this. So I make the drawings, I scan the drawings, and then my dear friend Tom Racine, who some of you may or may not know, yeah. So Tom Racine did the gray tones for this book and my last book, and thank goodness, because he saved me an awful lot of time, and he made the books even better. So, so in this book, I sort of decided to combine a lot of my favorite themes, which are I love adventure stories, I love comedy, and in this particular case, even though this story takes place in the Middle Ages and the sorts of pirates that we associate with sort of like Blackbeard and stuff like this, they did not really exist in the Middle Ages the way we think of them. But I just decided to throw some pirates in there too. So why not? So it is called the Tower of Time after all. And so when Max and her twin Mary make it to the Tower of Time, they are able to travel back and sort of see what their origin story is. And so that was really fun. I learned an awful lot about how complicated it can be to tell a story where you sort of shift time periods and how that can affect the narrative you're trying to tell. But I had a great time. This is the final book in the trilogy. I started it out it was just going to be one book, and I liked the first book so much I decided to do 2 more, and now I'm done. So and it looks like you guys are done. So let's see let's see your clatterbacks. Yes,
Stephanie's very dapper.
Oh
I'm
my
sticking
God,
with the
Stephanie.
dapper theme.
All right.
I
I got a
forgot-
question.
will-
Why is it called the
wow.
clatterback? Like, does the
I'll
back
show
have
you.
to clatter?
I'll show you my
That's-
I'll show you my clatterback from the book.
Oh.
So there it is.
Bottom half
Oh,
tiger.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Oh
Neat.
wow, I like that it's eating acorns.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of
I
the,
just because I forgot the squirrel
Squirrel
part,
part.
and then I like fudged the tail, and I was more focused on the skateboard because I was like, "Oh, Judd's carrying on."
yeah. I think the squirrel tail was the way to go. I think that's how. I think
Except for
that's
Dan Santat,
Except
who
for Dan.
forgot all about it. You failed.
Yeah.
That could be a
I think it
squirrel
looks
tail.
great.
Still here.
Fantastic
These all look
job, you
great.
guys.
That's fun.
That was awesome.
so much fun.
Can I go next? I have a hybrid too.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
yeah.
It's a much easier hybrid. I'm not gonna. You don't have to write this one down. I'm not going to give you 4. Y'all know what satyrs are, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you have my
Half man,
Passover.
half goat.
Yeah.
So I'm talking like your prompt is just draw a satyr, and satyrs are known for cavorting and being, rapscallions. Just draw some satyrs just being satyry. The reason I'm doing satyrs is because, I write and draw the series of graphic novels Olympians, which retell classic Greek mythology in graphic novel form. And the 12th and final book in the series is Dionysus, the new god. It comes out March 8th, like Dan said up front. If you've never read the books before, it's okay. You can jump into the last book in the series. It's a modular series. It's designed to be read about whichever goddess or god you like best. And the reason I'm going with satyrs is, I could ask you to draw Dionysus, but this is an all ages program. He is the god of wine. I don't know if we want to have like drunk god up there. But he was actually, so Greek mythology, we all know Greek mythology. Most of us go through a period of Greek mythology. Dionysus was the last god to join the Olympian family. And most of the Olympians are related to Zeus. He's either their dad, their brother, their sister, or something. And being the son of Zeus puts a little bit of a target on your back, especially Dionysus, who is exclusive among the Olympians. He's the only one born of a mortal woman. He's a new type of god. That's where the subtitle comes from. So there's a lot of people out to get him, out to do him harm. He can actually be killed, unlike the other gods. So in order to protect him, he's actually raised for part of his childhood among the satyrs. And the satyrs become his like retinue. They follow him around. They partake of his wine. It's and they're just kind of fun to draw. Oh, by the way, everyone, this is my cat Pinky. She's hearing me talk.
Oh,
She's
cameo.
probably a little upset that she wasn't the cat drawing the skateboard, but
Oh.
Pinky is, she's
Oh.
not going to listen to it. She just likes to be here and stick her butt in my face. So each volume of Olympians, I go back to the original sources and stuff. Greek mythology was my great love growing up. It's kind of what got me into comics. Even when I was a kid, I was introduced to Marvel Comics by reading Thor, which isn't actually Greek mythology, but I got into Norse mythology because of Greek mythology. And so this has been this whole series, which I'm working on for 12 years. It comes out to about 1 a year. It's been a way for me to tell the stories the way I always envision them in my head. Like Greek mythology in my book is the most exciting stories there are. Like it's the basis of what we think of the stories in many ways. And the stuff that happens in them is so crazy, especially you go back to original source material. And a lot of people would always tell me that they kind of just never got into it because it was just a bunch of long names. They would see like all the Persephones and Hephaestoses and stuff like Dionysuses, and they'd be like, they just wouldn't read it. And I'm like, you're missing out because these are some of the best stories ever created. It's why people still tell them thousands of years later. So by doing this with Olympians, this is my chance of kind of getting these stories out there and having more people discover the wonder. How we all doing with our hybrid?
Keep talking. Keep
Oh, I gotta
talking.
keep talking. Okay.
More about the book.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Dionysus then, right? So, there's some trickiness because he's most famously the god of wine. And it's like, this is an all ages book. So, but the thing that you really have to understand about Dionysus, more than him being a god of wine, is he is the god of insanity. He was the god of losing it. He's the god of breaking borders and breaking down order. It's actually, this is a cool factoid. It was actually illegal for periods of time, like in ancient Roman stuff, to worship Dionysus because to worship him was to tear down the powers that be. And that's kind of his whole thing. And that's why it makes sense. You're going to close out the series. Book 12, I could have kept going, but 12 seems like a good number. What is that, a duodecalogy? Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That might be 20. I don't know. I think it's a duodecalogy. 12 books in a series. It's a lot. So you're going to close out the guy who kind of like Dionysus is definitely the dude who closes the door behind him when he leaves the party. All right. So how are we doing here?
All right.
All right, just about done.
I would like to leave him wanting more, with the descriptions, but what's another good thing to talk about in this book?
Look, Dan, that's amazing.
It's me. It's
I love
me
him.
wearing a yarmulke, my wife, because we always come up here for Passover.
I was not.
I thought you said Seder.
I get it. Seder. Nice. It's very satirical.
Skater, but I'm holding a skateboard because I thought you said skater. Just to double.
Nice.
My guy is pieing another satyr.
I love it.
So I realized I at first started drawing a centaur and not a satyr. So then I sort of had to adjust. Then I was remembering Mr. Tumnus from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's a classic satyr. Am I right?
They actually call him a faun, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the satyr in the Disney Hercules. Yes.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Right.
Oh,
Fabulous. And
It's a satyr, Netflix and chilling.
I like that. That's a
not Danny
satyr.
DeVito.
I thought that was like from
Andy,
Titanic.
like that.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a bunch of pillows. It's very indulgent.
Nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, in keeping with the way the satyrs are in my book, that's pretty dead on. They're good. They're having a good time. They didn't watch too much TV, even if it did have.
I did a middle-aged satyr. I did a middle-aged satyr during the pandemic watching TV.
Oh man, that's the worst
Pandemic
time to be a
satyr.
That's the worst time to be a satyr. It's the worst time for anything.
That's probably true.
Not a good time.
Cool beans.
Still, like,
Between 20 and 22,
well dressed for Netflix and chill.
For sure.
You got to bring a little pomp and circumstance, even if you're just staying and watching Netflix.
I figure satyrs know how to party.
Okay, no, so that leaves me. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, my prompt: draw a robot. Have a little fun. Draw a robot.
Just a robot?
It's like just a robot. Slam dunk it. Any way you want to do it. Any way you want to do it. I'm gonna share my screen so I can chat a little bit. Give me a sec. You guys can get started. I probably won't have a lot to say. We don't have a tremendous amount of time left, so I will keep it quick-ish. And okay, so all right, so this is me drawing at my table. To reiterate, I'm Judd Winick. I'm a cartoonist. It's the greatest job in the whole wide world. And I do the Hilo series, which I love very, very much. I'm lucky enough to be able to do it. If for those of you who have not read the first Hilo book, let's start at the beginning. I mean, real quick, the first book in the series stars a little boy named DJ who one day sees a ball of fire, crashes into his backyard. And when Hilo first shows up, because he was the ball of fire crashing into his backyard, he has no memory of who he is, how he got here, or what he's supposed to do. But with the help of his buddies, he gets his memories back. He realizes that he's a robot. He realizes that he has powers and he can fly around and shoot lasers out of his hands and many, many other things. And it's mostly the story of the three of them. As much as the book is called Hilo, it is mostly about this. It's this team book. We've got DJ Lim, we've got Gina Cooper, and we've got Hilo. And each of them are kind of on their own journey. It's an action adventure story all ages. It's for everybody. It's a superhero story. It's got a little bit for everybody. And that's where our story starts. And within the first 6 books, we wrap up our first big story arc. Again, it's mostly as Hilo as our protagonist, our superhero. It's about him getting his memory back. It's about him fighting this big bad robot named Razorwork. And when that one wraps up in the 6th book, we launched it again with the 7th book. So we pivoted. So whereas in the first book, Hilo was our hero, our protagonist, and Gina and DJ were backing him up. Now Gina is going to come into, is going to take the spotlight, and Gina's going to be the hero with DJ and Hilo backing her up. And with the last book, book 7, which is Gina, the girl who broke the world, that literally kind of happens. Gina and DJ and Hilo get into some mischief, and the entire world gets taken over by magic, which brings us to our new book, which is Gina and the Big Secret, which just came out this past Tuesday. And in Gina and the Big Secret, again, the whole, I don't want to get into too much. It is the middle book of our trilogy. It is our Empire Strikes Back, and the entire world has been taken over by magic, and it's the kids' fault. So now they got to fix their problems. I had a lot of fun doing this one because I got to do what I like to do a lot, which is draw lots and lots of monsters. And it was a blast. And again, this is the second part of our series. One of our fan favorite characters, Polly, who's a magical, talking, anthropomorphic Scottish cat, returns. And one of my favorite scenes I've ever got to do, which I've been planning on doing for 20 years, honestly, is there is a scene where there's a bunch of toads who need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I've literally been waiting 20 years to do this joke. And it finally came up like, oh gosh, I get to do it. These are called heart attack toads. And I'm gonna share real quick. So they're called heart attack toads because my wife Pam, years and years and years ago, she misheard the lyrics to Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is horny back toad. And she said, what is he saying? Heart attack toads? And I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And I've been sitting on this joke forever that there's these toads, which they don't give you heart attacks when you touch them. They get heart attacks when you touch them. And the whole idea is like, you stupid toad, stop touching us. So they've got like piles of toads are hopping into the kids and getting heart attacks. So the kids have to give them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I can promise you there's lots and lots of fun exactly like that if you pick up the Hilo series, in particular the most recent one, Gina and the Big Secret, which brings us to the end there. And like, again, heart attack toads, good time for everybody, good fun for everybody. Okay, now I'm coming back. I'm gonna stop sharing.
And
oh my
you didn't
goodness,
have us draw heart attack toads.
Oh wow, your robots are cool. I'm actually trying.
Brought back the skateboard.
Yeah, I tried to combine all. It's a robot on the skateboard with an
It's a
octopus.
bread making robot. Going
Over
old
Clyde
school.
these are so awesome. You know what? You know what's really crazy great about it is that each of them are so indicative about your own personalities. Like they're really like they're so spot on y'all. Each of them. Oh my God, it's great. That's so cool.
I think mine looks a little like me. Just need to give him some glasses and a baseball cap, and we're right there.
Where's the mud?
Nice.
Oh wait, no, you're done. Wait, yeah, never mind.
But,
no mud. That was my motif.
robot
Fun. That was
Nice.
cool.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. I guess that concludes our panel. I don't know if anybody wants
Should we do
to
one more,
have any-
Dan? Should we do one more for the road? Should everyone draw their own character? Like one more for the road?
Sure.
Should we
So yeah,
quick-
we'll
let's do a
just draw
fast
our
draw.
characters from our books.
Yeah. Like
All
All
right,
right,
let's
draw our
draw-
own
let's draw.
characters.
Let's
fast
do
as we can.
that.
As fast as we can.
All right.
Sounds good.
And everybody go. And the kiddos should play at home that before we started, we were mostly talking about that maybe we'll do karaoke instead of draw for 45 minutes. And maybe next time we will. And also, hey, Dan Santat. Dan, thank you for moderating this panel.
Thank
It's a lot of
Dan.
Playing
fun.
home.
Thank you.
I
those
am
playing on-
itching to get back on the road and see everybody. I don't know if any of you are doing any other events this year, but I hope to see you at whatever event, Decatur Book Festival or whatever, ALA. I'm hoping we slowly migrate our way back towards normal because I'd love to see. I miss you all.
Yeah, likewise. This was supposed to be in person. This whole event was supposed to be in person, and we got sidelined again.
Right.
So all you kiddos should know as much as we really do enjoy doing things like this, where we get to, walk to our home offices and just do this for you, we would like nothing better to be back in the schools, back in the bookstores, and seeing y'all. That would probably be just about the best thing in the whole wide world. So sooner than later, fingers crossed and knocking wood that we get to do it again.
And just as a refresher, can everyone just like rename the title of their books and then when they're out in stores?
Yes, let's go. Dan, you first.
The Aquanaut in stores March 1st.
Lincoln.
Max and the Midnights, The Tower of Time, also March 1st.
George.
Olympians Volume 12, Dionysus the New God, March 8th.
Stephanie.
Right. Katie the Cat Sitter, Best Friends for Never. In stores now, came out February 15th.
There you go. And I myself, Judd Winick, and it's Hilo Book 8, Gina and the Big Secret, in stores now, everywhere books are sold.
Fantastic.
So let's hold up our characters. Let's hold up those books. Fantastic.
Oh, very nice, everyone.
Ooh, who else we got?
Such a good time. Such a good time.
Nice. Well,
Stephanie's a welder. You made the cat
Yes.
with a welder helmet. That's so awesome.
It is a welder cat.
I love the name, The Cuteness. It's so foreboding.
Yeah. It's always very like you turn off the lights and then you just see the spark from the cuteness welding,
Nice.
reflecting off
Nice.
of those giant globe eyes.
nice. Well, this has been wonderful, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Everyone is staying safe. Congratulations on all the releases. And thanks again for everyone who's watching. Hope to see you on the road sometime in the near future. All right. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, all. Bye, all. Bye, all.
See you soon.